Hello all, welcome to this week's virtual assembly. As ever, we start with our SMSC thought for the week. So the thought is that the only thing constant is change. And that comes from the Buddha. Now we know at secondary school you're experiencing big change, you'll go through lots of years very, very quickly, lots of things will happen, and all of us throughout life have to learn to adapt to change and embrace change. This week I'm going to talk about freedom of speech and your voice. So your voice is important. We know, and I know that I gave you an assembly about student council just before Christmas, and we talked about the fact that our voice as individuals is really, really important, and your views as individuals are really, really important. And it's for that reason that one of our core human rights and one of our core British rights is freedom of speech. But what does freedom of speech actually mean? And do we actually have the right to say whatever we want? Well, the short answer to that really is no, we don't have the right to say whatever we want. What we have in British society is what we call freer speech. You are part of a society, you are part of British society. So you interact with other human beings every day. So you are in what we call the public domain for the vast majority. When you're on your own, you can say whatever you like, but as soon as you interact with others, then there are limits to your speech because we've got to work as a productive society. Therefore, anything that is said that is a form of discrimination, for example, we can't say. That's not allowed in British law. So there are limits on what we can say. So racism, we know that racism is not allowed in British society. So there are limits to what people can say. And if they are racist, if they're saying something racist, well, that's not acceptable because we live as a society. You don't live on an island on your own. You live with lots and lots of other people, and we've got to work together. Now, when we're talking about the public domain and when we're talking about the public sphere, we're also talking about social media because that is you interacting with other people. So as soon as you interact with other people, you are in the public domain. And lots of social media, things like Facebook, things like Instagram, things like YouTube, things like WhatsApp, all these social media outlets are in the public sphere. So there are limits on what we can say. So you've got to think very, very carefully when you're in those public domains about what you're saying. Is the thing you are saying going to have a negative impact on somebody else? Because once it's out there forever. You've put it on the internet, you put it WhatsApp, same thing, it will be there forever. So all of those things are you interacting with other people. So as soon as you do that, there are limits on what you can say. It's not acceptable to just say whatever you like. You've got to think very, very carefully. When you're giving a view, that view has got to try and be a reasoned view. You've got to try and think about other people. We've said that obviously your views are important, but your reasoned views are important. Whether you've thought about it carefully, whether you think about other people, these are very important rights as well. So yes, we have freedom of speech to an extent, but actually there are limits on our freedom of speech because, like I said in the previous slides, we need to work together. Now, I've deliberately kept this assembly very, very short today because what I want to do in tutor time now, and obviously you've still got 20 minutes, is before Christmas, I gave you each an assembly on the student council. Now, because of COVID restrictions, we unfortunately couldn't nominate our two group members before Christmas. So this week will be your opportunity to do that. So what we need is we need two members of your tutor group to represent your views. So hopefully there'll be at least two people in your group who have put themselves forward for this role. So you need to tell your tutor group if you want to be part of the student council, and as a tutor group you need to decide who you think will best represent your views. So I'm going to end this video. You're going to talk with your tutor by the end of this week. So by Friday, what your tutor will need to do is they'll need to email me, Mr. Whitworth, the two representatives of your tutor group that will be part of the student council. So remember, this is your opportunity. These are your opportunities to have your say, to have your voice, to make sure your experience is shared so that we can actually act on that. So it's a really, really important role, and we want people obviously who are going to take this seriously. So I'm going to stop now, and I want you to decide, who do you think will be the 2 members of your group that will best represent you?